And when do you think that this is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be voted on next week or is going to be pushed out more?
No, so the Senate, all of Congress is actually taking a recess for Memorial Day week. So there's not going to be a lot of movement next week. It's going to give everybody, some time to kind of lick their wounds, rest up, get ready for the big push. But once they come back after Memorial Day, it's going to be, game on. The president has asked to get this to his desk before July 4th. So that's kind of the artificial deadline that we're all looking at. And, everybody said when Speaker Johnson said, hey, I'm going to get this out of the House and to the Senate before Memorial Day, everybody thought he was crazy. And he did it. So I wouldn't bet against Congress from getting this to the president's desk. President Trump has a heck of a way of making things happen and working with congressional leadership to do it. So July 4th is kind of what we have circled in pencil on our calendar, as we have basically up until that break to see if we can get this thing done. So it's going to be moving in June.
Gotcha. Okay. And then for those who just aren't familiar with the entire process, and it obviously is a little bit different than local politics to some degree. So once it goes through the Senate, then what?
So more than likely, again, this is part of a big omnibus package, the big, beautiful bill. There's tons of stuff that have nothing to do with us in that bill. Most of it has nothing to do with us. The likelihood that the Senate is going to just accept the House's version and, vote on it and pass it through is almost zero. Mm-hmm. I suppose, you could win the lottery too, but it's just probably not going to happen. So almost certainly the Senate is going to make some amendments. We want them to make some amendments, even to our stuff, including, like I said earlier, adding Section 3. That's something that we're working on. But, what's likely going to happen is they're going to mark it up. They're going to make some changes, and then they're going to send it back to the House. And the House will either vote on it, or they go to what's called a conference committee, where they get, a delegation from both the House and the Senate, and they negotiate the terms. Then both chambers pass it, and then it goes to the president's desk. So there's a few different pathways for it. I think that Congress is still trying to work that out, figure out what their priorities are, what they need to change. But it's not going to look exactly like it looked when it passed the House. It's kind of the long and short of it.